may like to share. So the floor is now yours. Thank you for listening. Yes, Catherine, I see your hand.
Well, two questions come to mind. One is for the pilot, which is I see it as getting people curious and invested.
Yes.
You want a person to sort of make a commitment to participate, right? To register.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I mean, so the commitment really is just at the very least just that once a month large group session via Zoom. That's just 1 hour a month. That's the second Thursday of each month, 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And that's the only thing that we'd really ask people to be committing to as much as possible, although we will be recording those sessions as well. So even if someone's not able to attend, we'd love to have them register. So that.
Okay. And then the other thing is, I see the pilot is free. What is the cost of the courses?
The courses will also be free. We are still developing the courses or finalizing them with our advisors, and we will be launching them on our website for free in fall 2021. So all of that will be free information and course material for churches, for everyone.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Anyone else have questions? Ma'an, yeah. You're muted. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm used to the other meetings. It's always mute if you are not speaking. And then
you did great.
Sorry. I would like to share this with the members of our newly born team.
Great.
So you said that you will send this to us.
Yes.
Can we use the whole thing that you presented today to let them watch it, or we all watch it together? Is that?
Yes.
I'm not tech savvy, so I'm not.
No problem. That's a great question. We will be sending the recording of the presentation to you via email on Monday.
Okay.
For anybody who missed this meeting, we will also send you a short little email with just information about the program that you can send to anybody who you would like to learn more about this. And that email with that little bit of information will be coming to you today right after the meeting. So
what I'm thinking right now is to send this to the pastor, so say something about it to the pastor, and then to the and then send with something for the team, and then to say, ask the pastor if she could send it to the congregation, and anyone who is interested can jump in.
That's great.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Excellent. That's excellent. And just let us know if you need anything along the way, and we'd be happy to send it to you.
Okay, what is the best way to contact you?
Yes, that will also be in the email today as well. But the best way to contact me, and I will, Russ, if you can actually just put this in the chat so that everyone has it, is just to email Kaylee at creationcarecollective.com. And Russ is going to go ahead and put that in the chat. But that information, that contact information, will be in the follow-up email today as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You bet. Judy, is that a hand?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Okay.
So, thank you. Is there any minimum level of participation or commitment you would want from a congregation? I mean, is it, one person, a couple people, or do you need to have 5 or 10 to participate? And then I have a follow-up after that.
Okay, great. Russ, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. Judy, absolutely not. We'd love to have one. We'd love to have 100 from the congregation, whatever that might be. No, the course is really. It would be great if there are multiple people from a congregation that there at least be one person in that leader role, so that they can kind of coordinate and facilitate things in the congregation. But the participants could be, a few to however many we would like. So. Okay.
And being that this is oriented online right now, that allows for that very easily.
Yeah.
Whether you would have 1 or 5 or 100.
Yeah.
So that's a really good question, though.
And it's a really interesting point because when we originally started working on this, it was pre-COVID, and we were thinking that this would actually be small group meetings, kind of like an alpha session where it's actually held at the church and things would be there. But then COVID and Zoom and everything that's happened since then. And in some ways it's created this wonderful opportunity that, by us being able to facilitate the larger group meetings. It takes some of the burden off of the local leaders in doing that. But we also felt it was important to make space. And that's why we talked about an optional meeting that you can meet with your local congregation. We want to make sure that those local teams form.
And are supported.
Yeah,
Or
and are
encouraged, that, of
encouraged.
course.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's everything is a challenge and an opportunity together at the same time, and we're just trying to make the best of the environment we're in. So
Yes, and I would also add to that, whether some of you and some of the others that are doing this too, whether there's one person represented or 5 or 100, this is a pilot, and it's just beautiful. It's really valuable for us to all learn from each other about what worked really well for you, whether it was a team of 5 or 100 people coming from a church. And we'll be able to hear that from each other.
yeah, and Judy, I want to make sure we don't miss your second question. So
Yes.
Well, actually, I have two more. Just logistically, you know, people are busy and they want to do this, but I'm sure people are going to, you know, maybe have to miss 1 or 2. Will there be an opportunity to see a recording if they
Absolutely.
have to miss one of them? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then the last question is for the small group discussions, which I think are, you know, a really valuable part of this. Is there any opportunity? Will there be any opportunity to share that back with the larger group in some way?
Yeah. So one of the things that we were planning to do in the flow of our time together is to have those small group breakout rooms in Zoom, and then to come back all together and just share highlights from that small group discussion with each other, and just have a little bit of time to discuss all together. And then what I would say also is the large group conversations with all of us coming from these various places will continue to happen on the online platform, in the Growing Together online platform, so that everybody can continue to connect and have these conversations, because they're so valuable. You're absolutely right.
I would also add that, Judy, that online platform will be as you are able and at your convenience to be able to dip in and out of that ongoing online platform.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. No, thank you. Are there more questions or concerns?
yeah, and
David.
Go ahead,
David.
David, you're muted still.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. Do
No
you
problem.
regard this as an interfaith initiative?
So that's a great question. Our spirit in this is one of welcome, inclusivity, and hospitality. So while we don't currently have this program in a multi-faith or interfaith application, this is a wide net to embrace the whole of the Christian community and all of those kind of that are around that, open to having that conversation through a Christian context. But there are a variety, as you have seen today, of denominations represented. And that is our hope for sure, is to have a very inclusive, welcoming conversation with all of those who are within the Christian family, but also even in that wider spiritual community, and are open to having these conversations with theology that is primarily coming from a Christian context, but also we are drawing from deep wells of knowledge across different perspectives. So eventually we would love to see this have multi-faith application though.
And the other thing I would add to that, and that's a great question, David, is that the resources and some of the things that we will be having available to the leaders will be in template forms as well, so that they can be modified as needed and personalized as needed to each denomination. So
yeah,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I see.
well, following up on that, you might want to be in touch with, if you aren't already, the Interreligious Eco-Justice Network here in Connecticut, just as a resource or
Great.
something.
Yeah, thank you so much, Linda. That's a great note and resource for us. We always love to be deepening our connections across as many places as we can. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been sharing this program with several denominational, diocesan level groups, and I don't think we've actually reached out to the Eco Justice Network that you referred to. Linda, if you have a contact for somebody,
Please feel free
that'd
to
be
email
great
us.
to share that with us, and we'd love to try and make a connection there. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll do that when I get your email.
Okay.
address after.
Yeah, and guys, if you don't have a specific question, we'd also love to get some feedback on.
I think Jane had a question.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, sorry, Jane.
That's actually the question I had. Since this is a pilot, will there be an evaluation to fill out at the end?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and we
Sure.
have evaluations throughout the entire process, to be honest with you.
And
Okay.
we actually, we're really thankful to have worked with, like, I think Kaylee mentioned, hundreds of thousands of churches across denominations for the last 20 years. And our heart is to come alongside you, and this is all together work.
Yeah.
And that hopefully that it is an ongoing dialogue and evaluation. You don't have to wait till the end to
Yes.
evaluate.
Yes, if something is not working at any point, please email us and we will make adjustments. I mean, we are here to learn from you and to learn with you. So we will make those adjustments as absolutely needed. So
Yeah, but I would be curious just to see how this lands for everybody. I mean, you all have been doing this work in
For a long
a lot
time.
of different contexts, and we'd love some general feedback on what your thoughts might be on it.
I have 2 more questions, if I may.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
please.
How many churches are you hoping to get for the pilot?
Yeah, we're hoping for somewhere 10 to 12 churches to run the pilot, somewhere in that range. And we have, I think, 3 signed up already. So we just started holding the
We
information
just opened the
meetings.
sign up.
We
Yeah.
had yesterday and today. We have several the week after Thanksgiving. So, we're hoping for 10 to 12 roughly.
Or 15, that's
Yeah, if it's
great
more than
too.
that, since we're doing it on Zoom, it'd be okay.
It'd be okay. Yes.
Yes.
That is a really good question. And
yes, yeah.
like Kaylee had mentioned before, if you know this is something you want to do with your church, so go ahead and sign up, and you can continue to add participants and
Yeah,
leaders
that's good.
later.
But Jane, I want to honor your question. I see another one.
Yes. So the final question is, so is there an application we need to fill out? Like, is this a competition?
Oh,
Do I have to hurry up and get in my?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a link in the chat, and we'll send a link for the application in the follow-up email when we're done here. But I'll drop it in the chat. It's a very short form. I'm not anticipating that we're going to have 100 people that want to do 10 to 12 slots. So I don't think this is going to be a competition.
We never know. There's been a lot of it. There's been a lot of interest.
What I would say to that is we wanted to make the registration or application form very simple and accessible. And so it's not a complicated form. And we are asking, though, that leaders who are going to be facilitating and inviting participants and these sorts of things from churches to register by the 15th, just so we can get you plugged in, the 15th of December. So that's really the date that we would love to have the majority of at least the leaders registered, so that we can be reaching out to you and supporting you and those kinds of things. But yes, we are going for, I would say, probably max 15 churches to run the pilot with. So there is that little bit of urgency behind that. But certainly we don't want to make it, a deeply competitive field. So that's how I would answer. Thank you for asking, though. Great question. Anyone else have questions? I want to honor time. I know we're getting close to the hour. So, and you can always email us. Again, all of our contact information will be available in the email we'll be sending right after this meeting. So are there any, though, questions that would love to be voiced? Yes, I see your hand, Carla.
Thank you. So I'm Carla Schaefer, and I'm from Bellingham, Washington. But I'm sorry I was late, but
no, not at all.
So I wanted to respond, I think, to Russ's a reaction to give, and it has to do with silence in the church on topics that are critical in the community and also being addressed politically. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how it looked like the steps to take the next steps that were just samples were pretty easy in terms of people not going outside of their comfort zone to being speaking up on behalf of the theology and standing out as a spiritual person in the community on behalf of creation. And so I really wanted to lift that up as a place where I know our church struggles all the time, is being able to take personal initiative, but being unable to represent the church as having a strong theologically based position on anything in this case. So I think any help we can get on that level would always be good.
Yeah.
And Keely, do you want to talk about that, or would you?
I would love to talk about this. So I so appreciate you lifting that up, Carla. I'm so sorry. Carla, I really appreciate you lifting that up, because it is front of mind for us in developing the courses, in particular, these kind of more robust courses. We are in conversations with our advisors about these issues and these necessary conversations and actions often, most often, about these sorts of things, particularly in regards to land, the history of our land, land acknowledgement, how we can work in those spaces. And so that is really going to be a part, particularly, of course, too, when we start talking about land and whole ecosystem of place. To miss that conversation is not something that feels like an option at this point. I think we need to be having these conversations and be given the resources to enter into this work and sustain it. So that's very, very important to us, as well as we are thinking about eco-justice and the importance of representation, of listening to many different voices, of uplifting different voices, and also telling the truth about our history in those spaces as well. So that is also very much a part of the courses, and we are in curriculum, or in conversation about the curriculum with our advisors very intimately on those topics. But I really appreciate you lifting them up, because they're crucial. So that's what I would.
I just want to add one thing, because some of the questions that we've had deal particularly with policy and advocacy issues, and we just want to say that we are not primarily a policy and advocacy organization, but that work is crucial, actually, in the broader context of solving our climate crisis and everything that's going on. So the way that we want to address a lot of that is actually through those going deeper resources, and kind of the action steps is creating space for the local leaders to add things that might be locally relevant issues in those going deeper resources, and to actually make sure that we're giving people that have a interest and ability to participate in advocacy or policy issues, that we point them in directions of, here are the things that those are done, because that work is vital. And we're really kind of focused on the piece that is also important of education and starting to apply and make value shifts within congregations and within the church. But the policy piece is really crucial, and it's an important part of actually getting this work done.
Yes.
So
I would also add to that too, the Growing Together program and the work that we're all doing together is really laying a foundation for in the Going Deeper resources for each leader and local space, like Russ is talking about, to be able to have those conversations and have those opportunities to guide advocacy and things like that.
Exactly.
So that's how we're coming alongside and respecting that each denomination and each local space is going to have different opportunities to uplift that. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or feedback? And Carla, did we answer your question? I want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm glad for everything that you said. That was good. One
Good.
meeting that I was in with about 400 people on Zoom, they took time to do a popcorn of everybody telling what indigenous people's land they were speaking from, like from Bellingham and from Lummi and Nooksack and Upper Skagit. And I think that that was a real huge opportunity for us to
Yeah.
hear all the tribes that and nations that were here before us. So I offer that as a suggestion at some point.
Yeah, I love that idea. And I've also found great value in those kinds of meetings. So thank you for reminding me.
And everybody, I know we're getting close to time. If anybody needs to drop off, please feel free to do so without any bad. But we're available if there are other questions or comments.
And just wanted to remind that if anybody needs to drop off, next steps are definitely to just, the registration is very simple and short. And that link is in the chat as well as an
We'll
email
send it
right
an email.
after.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to continuing to connect with everyone.
Any other last comments or questions?
Thank you for your work.
Thank you, Carla. Appreciate that. Thank you for all that you guys are doing as well.
Yes, thank you. It takes the whole village.
Yes, it does.
Well, we hope to see you all continually with the pilot. And we so appreciate your presence today. We are here for further questions via email. And you'll be receiving all that information after the meeting today. So grateful for you today. Be well. And we are looking forward to continuing to support you and to get to know you. So
Okay.
goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.